Hi everyone. In this video, I want to show you a Salesforce automation that I created that is going to help facilitate the creation of affiliation records for new staff contacts. You're going to see here on contact records, and specifically staff contact records that do not have any existing organization affiliations, that there's a red button now on the window over on the right hand side, and it's titled Staff Contact Affiliation Wizard. Just to show you what an existing contact record looks like, and I'm showing you my contact record here, you can see that that red button is not here. And it is not here because there is already one organization affiliation created for my contact record. And because that affiliation is here, that button is not available. So again, you're only going to see this button when there are no affiliations and when the contact record is a staff contact record. And that's up here on the left-hand side, contact record type equals staff. So I'm going to go ahead and click this button, and it's going to keep you on the page and open a pop-up window. And on the first page, it is going to ask, what is the primary network role for this staff person? And depending on what you select here, it's going to take you down 4 different branches where it is going to automatically create the affiliation records for you, and it's going to set them up correctly based upon the person's network role. Every network role, or most network roles, are a little bit different. The CBO executives, we create the affiliation records a little bit differently than we do for clubhouse coordinators, and it's a little bit different still from the records that we create for network staff and network partners. So depending on what you select here, in the subsequent pages, you're going to see slightly different language. Now, when I say primary network role, I say that because a staff person can have multiple network roles, as is stated here, but in this case, you are just selecting the one that is most pertinent. So, for example, somebody can be a CBO executive in addition to a CBO representative. In that case, you would probably just want to select CBO executive as being their primary network role. And then if you need to specify additional network roles, you just click this toggle, and then you can check as many of these boxes as you want. So I can make this person a CBO representative, for example. Then I'm going to go ahead and click the next button. And the next slide is just an explanation of what the end result of this affiliation wizard is going to be. So it's just telling you that it is going to create one organization affiliation for the host org that will be set as the primary and the network affiliation. And then in addition to that one affiliation, it's going to create additional affiliations for each active clubhouse under the host org. So all of that sounds fine to me. I'm going to click Next. On this slide is asking to select a clubhouse or one of the clubhouses under the host org. And what it's going to do is that this is going to be used to determine what the host org is. And the reason that I set it up this way in the case of CBO staff is that I think it's easy to scroll through a list of clubhouses than it is to scroll through a list of host organizations. I recognize a lot of the host orgs by name, but a lot of them I don't. So it's much easier for me, and I hope for you, to look at a list of clubhouses. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and use, why don't we use the Mott Community Center Clubhouse in this case. So you have 2 toggles beneath that, and these are both optional fields. You can enter a job title if you know what the person's job title is, or you can or you can enter the start date of their employment. So I'm going to go ahead and enter both of those. Let's just say that the job title for this person is Executive Director. And I'm going to enter a start date as well, and we will set the start date to today. And it just takes a brief moment, and now we have a confirmation here. Affiliations were successfully created for the staff person under the following accounts. So we can see here that I created 7 affiliations. Fairfax County has 6 clubhouses underneath of it, so it's created one for the host org, and then it's created affiliations for every clubhouse underneath of that host org. So I'm going to go ahead and click Finish. And the contact page is going to reload, and we're going to see here, and it only displays up to 6, so I'm going to go ahead and click View All. And it's showing me 7 affiliations here, all automatically created for me. One under the host org, and then the other 6 clubhouses. And it has set those appropriately, the host org being the primary and the network affiliation, and then the clubhouses being set as additional or other affiliations. And then the job title and the network role has been applied to those records as well. And if we go inside here, we can see that the start date has been added to the affiliation as well. So let me go back to the record real quick and also show you that the red button is no longer visible. And again, that's because there are affiliations on the record, so that wizard is no longer available here. So if you need to make any changes, additions, subtractions, go ahead and make those changes to these records, or click New to manually add a new affiliation. I hope this feature is useful for all of you. It should save you time in creating the affiliations. It should also take a lot of the guesswork out of creating the affiliations. I know that there are lots of little ins and outs to creating those, and some records, some contacts need to be set up one way, some contacts need to be set up the other way. Now you don't need to remember any of that information. The wizard will take care of that for you and set the affiliations up the way that they need to be based upon the network role. Let me know if you have any questions about this, and thank you, everybody.